why God is keeping you single. Firstly, it does not align with his plan. God has laid out your whole life before you even came on this earth. He knows what you will do, who you will marry, what kind of impact you will have on this world. He did not just make you just to make you, okay? Out of all the odds of you being alive, you are alive. Now, you're alive specifically for a reason, okay? So you have to submit yourself to God. Hey, God, I'm giving my life to you, okay? Take out the things you want to take out. I'm going to sacrifice, the worldly things that I want to do. I'm going to be an obedient child. I'm not going to be selfish. I'm not going to live life the way I want to live life. See, so many of us are selfish. We want to do what we want to do. We want to give into sin. We want to live in willful sin. We want to be disobedient. But then we claim, oh, God still loves me. Even though God hates sin. God hates when you sin. It's like a punch in the face to God, okay? God wants you to be obedient. See, when we are obedient, God is going to bless us. So it does not align with God's plan. Stop being selfish, okay? In due time, in obedience, you will get that woman. You will get that man. And they will be righteous. They won't be like all these thoughts. They won't be like all these man HOs. They won't be like that. They will be a good quality person. But in the meantime, you got to get closer to God. You got to stop trying to get off of God's plan. Because God's plan is the most fulfilling thing. You will be the happiest on God's plan. See, so many people die unhappy. So many people die without having any purpose. So many people die feeling like they could have done more. Feeling like, oh man, something was off. I missed out. I didn't live according to God's plan. That's deep down what it is. Because they live life the way they want to live life. And they just were not fulfilled with what they did. Okay, the second thing is to give an addiction up. Okay, see, when we're battling with an addiction, God wants us to fight that addiction head on. But if we have a girlfriend, if we have a boyfriend, we give a lot of attention, we give a lot of energy to them. And beating an addiction takes a lot of energy, okay? And we can't be distracted. We can't be hanging around somebody or dating somebody that is keeping us in that addiction. Let's say that addiction's weed or alcohol, and our boyfriend or our girlfriend smokes weed, drinks a lot of alcohol. Okay, that's going to tempt us. So God wants you to fight this addiction 2-on-1, him and you against that addiction. Okay, you gotta focus solely on fighting that addiction. The next thing is find yourself / go to him. See, a lot of times we look for happiness in somebody, something, a job, moving, traveling, and we search to find happiness. But once we settle in with that person, once we settle in with that job, once we settle in with, that new car, whatever it is that we thought would make us happy, we move on to the next thing. So God is making you stay single, okay, failing with all these relationships, so you can continue to search and eventually find him. Because we search, and then eventually we have this thought. It's like, oh God, spirituality, Jesus. That's what I gotta get back to. Because a lot of us, man, we've gone to church as a kid, but then as we age, we kind of put God on the back. And then when something really bad happens, that's when we talk to God. But otherwise, when life is just smooth sailing, we don't talk to him. Okay, we put him in the corner of the room. Okay, so God may just want you to find him. Okay, that's why these relationships are failing. That's why, you're just not happy. So you can find him, submit to him. Because God's the ultimate peace, God's the ultimate happiness. Okay, the next thing is seek him for happiness, not women or men. Okay, that kind of piggybacks off the last one. A lot of us, we try to find happiness in somebody else, and that always has let me down because I put expectations on people, and when they don't live up to those expectations, I get depressed, I get sad, I get upset, I get disappointed. But I gotta be happy with me. I gotta be happy with God. I gotta be happy with doing what God has me doing. I gotta be happy with the little things in life. Being able to go to my sink to fill my cup up. Not having to walk 5 miles to get a bucket of unclean water. I can just go to my sink and fill my cup up in 5 seconds. Okay, so I gotta be happy. Not happy from somebody else. Focus the time and energy on him instead. Seek God's kingdom and all things will be added. See, chasing women, dating women, especially women that are not the one for us, So it's not going to work out. Us guys put a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of emotion in doing this, in dating, and spending money, spending time. When we could be spending that time getting closer to God, building a relationship to God, with God, getting more spiritual, and then being obedient too, because not living in willful sin and being an obedient child of God, it takes a lot of energy, a lot of focus, a lot of patience, a lot of effort as well. So we could spend all of this energy and time and focus on being an obedient child, and then God would bless us with that woman one day, with that man one day. The next thing, your wife is already selected. You'll meet him/her in God's timing. And there is nothing you can do to speed this up. See, a lot of us get with the wrong people because we're unhappy. So we think that, oh, they look good. They tell me what I want to hear. So, I'm just going to settle down with them. Because, it's built on lust. But lust does not last forever. Now, obviously, she's got to be attractive. He's got to be attractive to you. Okay. But otherwise, a lot of us value just superficial, meaningless things that fade away. Are they a good person? Do they have a good relationship with their family? Do they believe in God? Do they have a relationship with God? How do they live life? What do they value? See, that's the issue, man. The fact that your wife is already out there, but you're spending all this time, all this energy on dating apps, on talking to thoughts, talking to people you shouldn't be talking to, but you just got lust in you, bro. You gotta beat that addiction. You got that spirit of lust attached to you. You gotta pray to God to get that out of you, because that's the downfall of man. Lust is the downfall of man. You cannot live up to your full potential having lust. You just cannot. Okay? Even if you look at a woman with lust, it's breaking the 10 Commandments. It's committing adultery. Jesus said that. Don't get mad at me. I'm just telling you what he said, because a lot of people don't seem to read the Bible these days. So a lot of y'all just don't know. You just don't know what to do. You just don't know what to follow. You just don't have any knowledge. And the Bible is the baseline, man. The Bible is the start. Okay, the Bible is how you get into this stuff. It's how you learn, how you know what to implement. Okay, so God's keeping you single for a reason, and that's not a bad thing, because if somebody's not right for you, how does it make you feel? You feel depressed, you feel sad, you feel anxious, you have all these negative demonic spirits affecting you. But somebody that's genuinely meant for you, you'll be at peace with him. You just met him today. Let's say y'all just went out on the first date. You feel like you know them a lifetime. Okay, so you got to pray to God too. When you meet somebody, be like, hey, God, is this a good person? Is this the person you want me to be with? Because we should not be dating just to date. No, we should be dating for marriage. We should not be dating just to date and have a seasonal relationship. No, we should not be doing that. That's pointless. The Bible doesn't talk about that. Because what's the point? See, a lot of us, man, the only point of dating somebody seasonally is based on lust. And that's a sin. Okay? You'll get a bunch of soul ties. You'll get a bunch of demonic spirits attached to you. So just pray to God, man. Remain obedient, remain faithful. Trust God. See, this is all about building trust too. You gotta trust that in God's timing, whenever it lines up with God's plan, you will meet them. And this is how God gets you to trust in him, by testing you, by seeing if you have what it takes to stay obedient in tribulation. So comment what you want to see next. I will see you next.